Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you all know, today we have had a we have had a ton of events that have happened following the claimed recent abduction of the Juja Member of Parliament, Honorable George Koimbori, who disappeared on Sunday at a church, at a full gospel church in Mogodha, and then today morning he was found at a coffee plantation in Ruiru, which is a constituency within Kiambu County. Now, as we speak, a lot of ton of events have unfolded, and one of them is in regards to a speech that was today delivered by the former Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua at Karen Hospital, where he went to visit George Koimbori. Now, Rigathi Gachagua made some certain wild allegations that have currently caught the attention of the whole nation at large. And these allegations are similar to certain allegations that Rigathi Gachagua made last week on the same day as today, which was on Monday. While Rigathi Gachagua on Monday called a press conference at Serena Hotel, he addressed a certain issue where he said that the government had planned an assassination attempt on him on Sunday, the previous Sunday, not the one that passed yesterday, the other one. But he escaped. Are we together? He said they wanted to assassinate him using a biological weapon. Are we together? And he pointed out a group of rogue police officers, all from one community, the Nandi community. And then today, while speaking, again he pointed out the same crew or the same group of rogue police officers and claimed that they had the orders to assassinate or kill Honorable George Koimbori, that they made him drink a certain chemical that has interfered with his vocal cord. Yes, the man that we saw today, if the agony and anguish that we saw George Koimbori undergoing in the 9-second video that was posted early today in the morning, then we agree that that crew or that rogue police crew needs to be dismantled. But let me ask you a question. What if this is a psychological game that Rigathi Gachagua is playing? And leave the psychological game. I want to dive into a statement that has been delivered on X by one senator or the majority, the leader of majority in the Senate, Honorable Aron Cheruyot. I want you to listen and listen very careful to Cheruyot's statement. Nataka msikize. Aron Cheruyot says this. What, and I quote him, why can't Gachagua deal with this fight with President William Ruto without casting aspersions on an entire community every time he comes close to a microphone? Why the obsession of disparaging the Kalenjin community at every time? We overwhelmingly voted for him to be DP. He then squandered the opportunity through petty crimes and silly and constitutional dealings. Class up, Mr. Rigathi. That is Aron Cheruyot. And I will read a reply by one Anwar Sadat, who replied to this statement by one Aron Cheruyot by telling him this. Rigathi has called out specific thieves and individuals involved in the looting spree. Nowhere have we seen him speak about any tribe. It is you bringing in the tribe dimension. Are the 5 helicopters you bought from stolen money owned by you or the Kalenjins? You stole for you and your family. Don't drag your community into things they know nothing about. Every time, one Eric Simba says, every time Gachagua gets a mic, he's always, sisi watu wa Murima, sisi Mount Kenya, I mean, si yeye ni leader wa Kenya yote. Ama Gachagua is a leader who should call for national unity. Ruto is a master of tribalism. Gachagua is indifferent. Now let me tell you, there is a bigger game. There is a bigger game. And the reason I'm telling you this, the government of William Ruto and its allies is a government of wolves. And it's a government that works on strategy. And let me tell you, uh, I will just quote a Kikuyu proverb, and it goes, hiti ikienda kuria mwana yeohatagia ati niaranunga mburi. I will translate in English. When a wolf, or let me say an hyena, wants to eat its kids, it blames them of smelling like goats so that it can eat them. And that is the game that William Ruto and allies always play. Let me tell you why. They always have a plan of disparaging and discrediting Rigathi Gachagua. But now, the blame games against Rigathi Gachagua have failed. So they have to turn the card. And to turn the card, they have to deal with the psychology of you as a Kenyan or you as the supporter of Rigathi Gachagua. And how do I prepare you psychologically? I start pointing fingers on things that Rigathi Gachagua said, or the things or what Rigathi Gachagua is perpetuating. Are we together? In the morning, I did a video in regards to how Moses Kuria has been calling, he highlighted the 5 characteristics of Rigathi Gachagua that makes him a dictator. Are we together? Now, I'm telling you, it's not only Kuria, it's not only Aron Cheruyot, but the whole regime of William Ruto as an head game for Rigathi Gachagua. And the head game for Rigathi Gachagua is arresting him and having him face a lot of criminal offenses that the man will be so helpless come the year 2027 that the Constitution cannot allow him to stand or vie for any political seat. And it's not planned for Rigathi Gachagua alone. We have the governor of Trans Nzoia, George Natembeya. Now, before we head to George Natembeya, let me tell you, the other Saturday, Rigathi Gachagua and the team claimed that a contingent of DCI officers had been deployed to arrest him in 3 of his homes, the 2 homes in Nairobi and the one in Wamunyoro. But let me ask you a question. If these people really had, if the DCI had been deployed, couldn't Rigathi Gachagua and the allies just have pictures? Let me not even say videos, pictures of those vehicles ambazo zilikuwa deployed at his homes. Shouldn't they have even a clip of 10 seconds to showcase ya kwamba walikuwa wametumwa? But let me ask, yes, we heard they were deployed, we supported, but did you see them? We ask, in slander, we say we use pictures. And you have to have electronic evidence. In matters of slander, that is defamation, you have to have photographic or video evidence. Did Rigathi Gachagua have any to put against William Ruto and the regime? Another thing, even if it's not Rigathi Gachagua, couldn't any of his followers or friends or people that live around him capture the videos and photos of the said officers that were deployed? So I tell you, even Rigathi Gachagua knows the end game of these people. So he has to prepare his people mentally for what might come. And that is why the whole arrest of Rigathi Gachagua's plan was put aside. Wakasema hawatashika yesai. Why? When Rigathi Gachagua made that statement on Monday last week, different happenings started taking place in different parts of the country. Kulikuwa na maandamano Madera, kulikuwa na maandamano Karatina, kulikuwa na maandamano Sagana, kukakuwa na maandamano Kibera, kukakuwa na some maandamanos in Githurai. So, Rigathi Gachagua tested the ground with the allegations wanataka kuniua. Akajua, if anything happens to me, my people got my back. And now the government also knows if we go for him, things will be bad. So what can we do? First, let's paint him as the monster that we want the people of the Republic of Kenya to see. A man that sells the ideology of tribalism and clashes. you had Kipchumba Murkomen yesterday saying that Rigathi Gachagua is preparing a militia to cause chaos in the year 2027. That is the game. And that is how it's played. So these happenings, na hizi allegations wana pile up day in, day out, is to make the people of Kenya or the supporters of Rigathi Gachagua to accept ya kwamba kumbe mtu si mzuri, anataka nchi yetu ipigane venye ilipigana 2007. Are we together? You had Kithure Kindiki speaking last week saying that anybody that threats our, gives out threat that our country will fall into chaos in the elections of the year 2027 is not different to Al-Shabaab, to any terrorist, or to the bandits in Kerio Valley. Those were the ones. So that is the picture they want you to take about Rigathi Gachagua. So when the time comes for them to poach on Rigathi Gachagua, wakishika yeye, they expect ya kwamba they would already have sold the narrative to you, na mmekubali. Na ndio maana wanashika hawa wadogo wadogo akina Koimbori hapa na pale. Unapata Senator Mebu wamekimbizwa huku, Cleophas Malala ndio huyo. Ndio waone how the atmosphere will be when the time comes for them to take Rigathi Gachagua into custody. And if they take Rigathi Gachagua into custody, walete hizo claims na cases, it will be Rigathi Gachagua versus the state. Claims ya kwamba huyu mtu ana incite violence, criminal offenses ya kwamba Rigathi Gachagua is funding a militia, Rigathi Gachagua is doing this and that. Constitution can't allow such a person to vie as the president of the Republic of Kenya. Now, Rigathi Gachagua's star ama nyota yake ya kuwania kiti cha urais mwaka wa 2027, he should kill it and bury it. Let him play the card of being the mobilizer. Let's go to Natembeya. What is happening? Natembeya was arrested on Monday last week. Now, the cases that were brought by the EACC, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission, were cases which were amounting to 1.4 billion. But when they arrived at the court, kesi iligeuka ikakuwa Natembeya eti ameswid 1.3 million. Not 1.4 B, it's 1.3 million. Kukuja kufanya uchunguzi inapatikana, hii ni loan Natembeya aliomba aweze kufanya nayo vitu zake. So, currently, they want to drum up charges so that they can lay the ground and make the ground ripe for an impeachment motion against Natembeya. Why? Why impeach Natembeya? Because they know that George Natembeya is the most formidable candidate to be the running mate of the presidential candidate of the opposition come the year 2027. Why? Because of the Mulembe Nation votes. Are we together? They know the Mulembe Nation votes, and the Mulembe Nation currently is singing one song, and that is Tawe, which is Natembeya's movement. You saw what Natembeya did today. His tour, starting from Vihiga, Kakamega, Bungoma, Trans Nzoia, and Busia, the whole 5 counties of the Mulembe Nation. The reception was humongous. I mean, he has shattered everybody who refer to themselves as the leader of the Mulembe Nation. So they know if the Mulembe Nation unites behind Natembeya as their deputy presidential candidate come the year 2027, they will vote as a bloc, together with the Mount Kenya region voting as a bloc, together with the Kamba Nation voting as a bloc. Ruto has no chance against these people. So, how about we drum up charges and make the ground ripe for an impeachment against this man, so that when time comes, we shall impeach him, and once you are impeached, Bwana Natembeya, you will live to fight your impeachment in court, and then, constitutionally, you won't be viable to vie for any elective position in this country, which means him being a deputy presidential candidate in the year 2027 will be null and void. The Mulembe Nation imefanya nini? Imetawanywa. itakuwa imetawanyika kama Natembeya hatakuwa kwa ballot papers come the year 2027. That is the card and that is the game. I tell you, all this is a play that has an end game. For Rigathi Gachagua, he will end up in jail with a lot of criminal offenses. Yes, ataachiliwa on board, but he will live on to continue fighting in the High Court, Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. Constitutionally, the man cannot vie. For Natembeya, also the same thing, atakuwa na vuta za hapa na pale, kule kotini na pia wapi? Supreme Court, Court of Appeal and the High Court to fight his impeachment. But utakuwa ashamu impeach. So the impeachment once passed, he stands impeached, and constitutionally the man will wait for 10 years before appearing on a ballot paper again. Anaitwa William Ruto. Msimchezee. Ni siasa. Na these are the monkey waters of politics. You should understand that politics is a dirty game. If you have to play with William Ruto, play dirty but play safe. For now, that's what's up. Tell me what you think about our analysis. This is the Kenyan Daily Report. Subscribe.